We have an exciting matchup for you today. Both of these schools are facing off today are connected via Interstate 380. 90 miles separate these two campuses, and bragging rights are on the line. Hello, UNI Panther fans and Valorant fans alike. Welcome to Week 4 of the 2025 NECC regular season. Tonight, your 2-1 Northern Iowa Panthers from Cedar Falls, Iowa, will face their in-state rival, the 1-2 Iowa Hawkeyes from Iowa City, Iowa. Thank you for joining us on your Monday night. My name is Hunter. In the booth working double duty is Monty. How are you doing tonight, Monty?
I'm doing fantastic, Hunter. I'm ready for these games this weekend. Pretty tough matchup here for UNI, facing Iowa actually coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how these two teams are going to, obviously play against each other, because it's one thing playing like North Dakota, or it's one thing playing Concordia. It's these in-state rivalries that matter so much to a lot of people that maybe that gives a little bit more competitiveness than what we see normally.
Yeah, so we are going to be seeing some interesting team comps coming up here from Iowa here. Definitely something that I'm not used to seeing. We're going to be seeing a Neon and Phoenix coming out on Haven here.
Yeah, what do you think might be the idea with the Phoenix here?
So the only real reason Phoenix is really strong is because he's got that ult that is just only 6 ult points and is more or less just a free life. So it's really helpful to kind of try to take some space and get aggressive with.
All right, so right before we get started here, your UNI starters are going to be Pop-Tart, Favourite, Remy, Mr. Sirclaps, and Beefman, while the Hawkeyes will have Rybeam, Bags, Shadow, Rukia, and Kraft. So already going to be looking out for the game changers here today of Pop-Tart, Favourite, and Mr. Sirclaps. Of course, Beefman going to have to step up big here, whereas last week, Shadow went 39 and 29 against their win against Augustana College. So some players to look out today in today's match.
You'll see Beefman looking to take a 1v1 on Bags here. It's a little bit of damage, but not much else.
Camera taken out.
Seeing a heavy A hit coming out here from Iowa and looking ready to hit site.
Careful now.
And Panther takes out Kraft with the trip on site.
Spike planted.
Mr. Sirclaps taking out Rybeam.
Last player standing.
Shadow not unable to do anything. Rukia almost finding one, but UNI just with an impeccable retake getting a flawless round.
Yeah, we saw that last week against Briarcliff, is that these pistol rounds have been pretty strong for UNI, and love to see that continue here.
Now UNI coming into their bye round here, seeing if they're going to be able to hold this out, see if they'll be able to stop Iowa's push once again here.
So what's the interesting thing about Haven that kind of separates itself from maybe any of the other maps?
The one nice thing about it is it's a map with 3 sites, but it has a lot of close angles, so there's going to be a lot of like aggression, and you can easily rotate between sites as well.
All right, so off the initial here,
No, you don't.
Ryuka gonna go ahead and take out Remy, but Beefman right there with the outlaw.
It looks like UNI is going to be trying to hold down this garage push from Iowa here. Bags getting aggressive. Looks like Iowa's going to be trying to rotate off, but Beefman will be holding that outlaw on that B site.
Gonna be a critical couple shots if he could make them.
Here.
See, he gets a noise, he finds one. Gets flashed off the angle. Misses the shot. He's gonna have to run away.
One enemy remaining.
Oh,
Collapse.
nice shot for Mr. Circlaps.
In Shadow, unable to find another kill there, but they did get bombed down. Iowa will be getting out of the round with only a little bit of damage here.
Again, another really good first initial round for UNI, and it's going to have to now force Iowa to buy. So really like to see the initial 2-0 coming out for UNI.
UNI does have some interesting guns here. We will see the Outlaw being held here still, but one thing to note is that none of Iowa is going to have to go light armor. So the Outlaw is not going to have nearly as much impact as it normally would. It looks like Iowa's setting up for a C rush here, and Pop-Tart knows it. He's trying to get ready for the C-kill. Favlet picks up Kraft again.
That Bulldog's been dangerous for Favlet here in these early rounds.
See Shadow trying to get a little bit aggressive up mid here. He's going to get cleared out by the Sova drone, I believe. He doesn't. Now UNI heavy stack towards that C side of the map here. Mr. Circlap staying on this angle. He knows there's a chance they can still come.
At what point do you kind of give that full C commit if you're UNI, like for the defense?
Definitely, they're still in this position where there's no noise, so it's been a lot of just slow playing here. They're gonna wait for a lot of noise on one site to actually commit to that rotate. And we're seeing actually a lot of players outside of mid, and we might end up seeing a B hit.
30 seconds left.
Rukia getting aggressive in garage. And Rybean all the way outside knows that the B-man could be in that smoke.
Easy.
Oh, Rybean through the smoke, but Pop-Tart able to get a trade out on Shadow.
UNI in a 4v2 retake now here. And Bags takes out Pop-Tart in flank.
Rybean able to take out Favlet. It's going to be a 2v2 push. Mr. Circlaps going with the daggers and gets taken out. Rybean with 3.
Now both players on Iowa very low.
Cover going out.
Could be a really good round for UNI to win.
Beefman hears the cues. He knows he's on top.
Beefman unable to clutch it out, even though 2 Iowa players are very low, that was their buy round. So definitely some huge damage for UNI with those eco guns. Getting a lot of damage out there.
Yeah, so I guess you still have to kind of play for the mid game where you have eco, but I feel like this round's going to matter just as much, you know, because when UNI kind of starts getting tied, it's very difficult for them to get out of a funk if they continue to lose. So hopefully they can keep the pressure on, and it looks like right now Iowa is going to stack up on A.
And they're waiting for this push here. They know there's a chance that UNI would have gotten aggressive last round with that A hold. Mr. Circlaps actually getting smoked off here with the op.
Beefman. Go down sewer.
Bags ends up being actually the one that peek into the op. Iowa now has no smokes to take the site. See the op.
Critical first blood.
The op getting repositioned all the way around to heaven here as well. And UNI has kind of collapsed on them through mid here. A little bit of space taken here from Favlet. Mr. Collapse unable to find the kill. Does get hit through the wall.
This is second shot.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Finally lands one on Rybean.
Rukia trying to take the space with that Phoenix ult on site here. It's taken out from the side by Pop-Tart.
Shadow able to take out Pop-Tart. Beefman does get the trade. And the spike does go down.
Kraft taking heavy damage here, trying to find Remy.
Player standing.
Can't quite get it done, and that's just going to leave Rukia.
Yeah, even if he
10
finds
seconds
these
left.
kills, he has no time left on the clock.
At this point, you maybe try and go for the opt-down, but he won't. He'll go ahead and save.
And Remy was looking for that exit kill, unable to find it. Rukia ends up playing this well, saves that gun that's likely going to be the only gun on the team here. Actually, it does look like I was going to be able to buy a lot more than I was expecting.
Yeah, and I also really like how we've seen Mr. Sirclaps on the jet with the op early on these Haven rounds. It's been a lot of value that we've seen in these early rounds. So UNI extending the lead to 2, hopefully can continue to use some of that pressure on C-site with the op.
Remy getting a little bit of early info there in mid, only taking a little bit of damage. PC Favourite once again with this judge in garage. This could be devastating for Iowa if they just try to walk into that.
We see in mid
Go, go, go! Out of
come
charges.
out for Iowa.
Watch out!
It looks like Remy is going to be getting crunched by most of Iowa's players here. Trying to find one through that smoke.
They're going in loud. Bags able to pick up Remy, who is defending B. The plant will get down.
A really good play here for Iowa, taking that B site because they know that op is going to be doing a lot of damage.
Pop-Tart off screen, able to take out Rybeen.
See Favorite lurking up mid. He clears angle, gets one with the judge.
Last player standing.
Able to find another though. Rukia picking up 3 in the round for Iowa there.
Yeah, I really like the right idea that you and I had. I wish they had a little bit more coordination there, maybe on both sides of B, but really good job from the Hawkeyes, able to initiate, take that empty space, take away the op, and force UNI to be kind of in a buy phase, almost, it feels like.
Yeah, they are going to be... UNI is actually going to have very low money here. And it looks like UNI is actually going to be stacking the wrong sites. They're all stacking towards mid here.
Well, I mean, that only makes sense because they've hit B kind of like both, like 2 times out of the 5 times, and the other 2 times have been on a C push. So that was the right idea, but now it's going to have to come down to the response that UNI had as to push to A.
UNI rotated 2 players over to the A site, but it kind of looks like Iowa might try to rotate off or re-hit even.
Deploying drone.
We're going to see Beefman likely is going to be alone on site here and get rushed by the whole team.
We'll see if Iowa realizes that it's going to be a 1v4, and already they're pushing through the choke.
You see Kraft all the way up site, taking the space here. UNI kind of stuck in a rough spot here with very little guns.
Mr. Sircaps looks like he's going to try and maybe go down. Knows they're in hell.
He sees 2 in health. He finds the one close and almost takes that one long.
Rybeen Shadow
One
able to pick
enemy
up
remaining.
more members of UNI, and just like that, Rukia and Bags, who were sitting in hell, able to go ahead and tie the first map 3-3.
There's a really nice cross there playing on the A site. Being able to play these 3 angles, just playing that cross on A, very hard to retake. UNI just did not have the utility and everything to be able to retake that all at once that round.
The one thing that I'm interested to see here is how UNI is going to respond on some of these defenses, because their retakes have really been lagging.
Right, it's definitely going to be interesting to see if they're able to find a lot of these rounds, or actually, we might see one coming out here if Beefman's able to hold this angle.
Joke's over. You're dead.
He hears the bush, he's ready for it. Pop-Tart finds the trade, is going to back off.
Well, that was only the Phoenix ult that he was able to take out, so it's still a 4v5. And Remy turned at the wrong time, couldn't spray in, and he's down.
This is the clap. Swings out of the smoke, finds one, gets
Spike
taken out by
down,
Bags.
B.
That's going to force only 2 members of UNI, but it's Pop-Tart, and he already takes out Shadow.
Now Pop-Tart and Fablet are going to try to work their way up mid. Pop-Tart will get almost taken out there.
Fablet able to save his skin. It's going to be a 2v1 on site.
Pop-Tart gets the spam through the smoke. That Cypher ult coming in huge there.
And with the successful defuse, UNI will go ahead and tip the scales 4-3. What'd you like of that sort of kind of sequence on that B site there, Monty?
I'm really liking Iowa's B pushes. It's definitely throwing UNI for a loop. I don't think most teams usually use the B site as much as this. They're able to get in a lot. It's just that UNI that round was able to just be placed in the right spots for that retake. They were ready. They already had that space taken back mid already because of those 2 in garage.
That'll be interesting to see. Of course, Rybean historically has been the bomb planter for this Iowa Hawkeye team. And already out the initial craft, able to pick up 1.
I'm going to see a lot of fighting here. Maybe a fight coming towards garage as well. See, Bags might walk into both of these players here. He does find out Fablet, but gets hit for a lot here. See
Rukia taking out Remy. And we see that A side is going to be completely freed up, but Mr. Surclap is going to maybe see if he can use some ultimates here on B.
He finds one.
Finds one.
Almost finds another
Last
there.
Player standing.
Now Pop-Tart, aware of Rukia in this corner, is going to have to try to clutch this out. 1v4.
He's already good for 1.
It looks like he's going to actually just go on flank and try to save here. This is probably the smartest play he could do. A very hard round, especially with a breach ult in the hands of Iowa. He's going to just try to see if he can get one on their exit.
Yeah. What do you think UNI needs to do defensively? Because we've seen them struggle on the retakes. We kind of know that they already set up for B, but then that's when Iowa went in for the A push. So if you're UNI, how do you counteract this sort of kind of mind game that Iowa's been playing right now with this B push?
It looks like UNI is struggling. They keep getting taken out first. They're getting first blooded a lot of these rounds in mid without trades coming off on them.
That goes there. Yes.
So, for example, like Fablet getting taken out in garage there, and I believe somebody died on B as well. Kind of just gave Iowa numbers and a lot of information.
This is a nice spot.
Revealing area.
You see, UNI is on kind of a weird buy here. And once again, Remy getting taken out early here.
You're dead.
Pop-Tart finds
Able to
one.
Find 1.
Gets traded out, though, by that Phoenix ult.
Bags will go ahead and get a plant. This time it's going to be on C.
Shadow with this garage control. He's actually going to get flanked here. And he now knows he's going to be ready for this. A beautiful blind coming from Bags. And Fablet's going to have to run. He sees the gun, though.
Shock dart.
Shock dart able to get a little bit there.
Revealing area.
And Mr. Collapse on the other end will find one on flank. Finds 2.
And he's going to start eating
One enemy remaining.
Fablet able to take out Bags.
A lot of
But it's going
damage,
to be to
but
no avail.
no time for UNI to be able to defuse.
Right idea, just couldn't quite execute in just enough time. And Iowa will go ahead and tip the scale by 1 in their favor, 5-4. I really like these bomb like these placements that I was doing and kind of how they're sharing the love between each site. Like normally you commit to B just enough to fake out UNI, and then you get a off A or an off C push, and it's been really in their favor.
Yeah, just getting this info. This is one strong thing about Haven. Once they get that info up mid, and they've been getting a kill off of it as well, they're able to pretty much do whatever they want. And Kraft almost gets taken out by Remy there.
I'm out of here.
Rukia able to take out Favelet. And here comes the A push, where it's just Mr. Circlass.
Off your feet!
Scraps he does dodge the breach ult. He might be able to find a couple kills here.
Dash out, finds
Rukia.
one. Bag's able to trade him out, though.
Thanks, with that TP up heaven, I don't think UNI is aware. Oh, and Pop-Tart all the way up flank. But he's going to... He gets taken out by Kraft.
But he's
Last
able to
player
take out
standing.
Rybeam. It's going to be a 1v3 for Beef Man. No can do. Iowa pushes the distance by 2 rounds.
And that breach ult there just barely missing Kraft in the corner. Pop-Tart could have been good for both there, actually.
And I wonder at
Gun
this
here.
point, again, if you're UNI, what's the struggle? Where do you start finding success, Monty?
And once again, we saw another early death from UNI. Just what we saw Favelet get taken out in sewer there. And just that early death has really just been detrimental to UNI.
Go, go, go.
Scanning ahead.
Favelet trying to get that dart for so a little bit of info
You
here.
should run.
And the Killjoy ult coming up from Iowa here. And Pop-Tart getting taken out in heaven as well.
Difficult times for UNI.
Hot one. Placing swarm grenade.
Misses the
Placing
shock darts
swarm
on the
grenade.
default.
Alarm bot out.
That's going to force a 4v5 retake for UNI there on A.
Here.
UNI once again in another retake scenario.
Here. Blocking sight.
Their class trying to get aggressive, gets a little bit of space on the smoke here. Finds one.
Able to get one.
Last
Before he
player
gets traded out by
standing.
Beef. Bags picks up 2. Remy picks up Rukia. It's a 1v2.
One enemy
He finds
remaining.
one.
It's a 1v1, and he's got to get the defuse or get the kill.
Unable to find Bags. Bags will end up going down to the bomb here, though.
Last round in the half.
So last round before the half, Monty, UNI made the best that they could on that A site situation. What do you think they need to do here before the swap?
It was a phenomenal retake. They just were just short of being able to find one. Mr. Zerklap's getting taken out through that smoke. And then Remy unable to find the guy short as well early enough. Just, they weren't quite fast enough for the retake there. Gonna see UNI once again on a really weird buy here. And Bags just trying to hold this C push if anyone comes down. And the rest of UNI looks to be stacking all the way up B and mid.
But this might be a good read for UNI if Iowa doesn't rotate around to A.
And Bags still walking all the way up C. He has bomb. If he gets taken out here, this could be just a round lost.
But that's the thing, does UNI know that bomb might be planted on C?
Cover going out.
Pop-Tart getting ready to play off of the strip wire here.
They found my wire.
He's able to find one through the smoke, and then the Cypher ult comes out.
Does get taken out by Rukia. Gonna be a 4v4.
Beefman trying to get that kill through the smoke.
Stealing sight.
And Mrs. Zerklaps looking to get aggressive with the jet knives.
30 seconds
Favelet
left.
using the Sova ult, able to find one.
Remy finds Shadow.
What a reactionary kill right there for Remy.
He heard the TP as well. Bags is going to get the plant on A. But now UNI is going to be on a 4v2 retake on
10
A site.
seconds left.
He gets a really good plant here as well.
Here we go.
Now Craft and Bags with a lot of...
Last player standing.
Oh, that was a trade. Favelet going down, but Mr. Surklaps with the knives able to take out Kraft.
Bags is going to have to get aggressive here. It's a 1v3. Even though 2 players are low, Remy's going to find him walking into the smoke.
Hopefully, if you and I can get this defuse in time, which they certainly will, we'll go ahead and make your half for map 1.
Day, is it?
7-5 for Iowa.
Not a bad
Switching
half here for
sides.
UNI. It did start out a little rough there with some back and forth, especially on defense half, which UNI is usually a lot stronger on. But definitely not out of it yet. UNI just has to win pistol round and their force buy round, and they'll be back to 7-7.
And that's exactly what I was going to say, Monty, is that they've been doing pretty good on their initial pistol rounds. Of course, as of late, at least the last 2 weeks, they've gone 2-0 or able to split 1-1. So hopefully they can keep that going here. And I didn't just caster curse them.
We would never do that to them. It's
Never,
fine.
Monty.
UNI setting up for a pretty fast C hit, it looks like here. Now, Iowa, already aware of this, has a lot of people rotated over to that C side of the map.
Interesting to see what kind of tipped them that way.
We will see Favelet looking to walk up mid here. Might actually give it. UNI is going to be rotating back to A here. But Iowa seems to already be aware of this.
And we see Bags kind of rotating on that heaven side and kind of like that third man for either the C or A hold.
It's going to be a 5v2 site take here for UNI. And one will already go down.
Pop-Tart able to take out Kraft. Bags is going to be stunned.
Bags looking to find something in the smoke. He doesn't find one. Pop-Tart gets the kill, actually.
Beefman will go ahead and get a successful plan on A. It's going to be a 5v3 retake. Excuse me, a 4v3 retake for Iowa.
Remy gets a lot of damage on Rukia, so Mr. Claps ends up finding the kill.
Shadow and Beef going to go at it. Shadow wins the draw, but Mr. Surklaps off screen, able to take out Rybean, but it all comes down to Shadow.
You know, UNI holding a firing squad on this angle. Mr. Claps gets taken out.
Gonna have to walk through the cage.
Pop-Tart able to find 3 on the round here for UNI.
So UNI doing a good job again with the pistol rounds. Interesting to see what they're gonna do on this like thrifty buy phase. We've seen Favelet use the Bulldog to great advantage, so maybe see a little bit more of that.
Now UNI on their force buy round here. See what they're going to be able to pull out here. Once again, stacking towards that C side. Maybe try to get a little bit of early aggression onto this Killjoy.
Oh, and here comes Iowa down B main. They're already at windows.
Mr. Claps has C sight, but UNI is going to be fighting towards mid still.
Beefman able to take out Kraft with the Marshall, and already Iowa down 2 members.
We're going to see just a really strange round here. We see Favela picking up Rybian as well. Pop-Tart seeming to... Looks like he sees Bags and he's wrapping on them.
One enemy remaining.
Able to take him out. And a flawless victory coming out from UNI from what was a very aggressive B push for Iowa.
It was some really good aggression down mid for Iowa there. That 4-stack trying to take that space was a wonderful idea. They got that first pick, and then I think they backed off of it. If they would have kept going, it might have given them a little bit more pressure. And once again, we see
UNI.
UNI really trying to hit the C side of the map.
See it be aggressive. Shadow is going to be taken
Enemy
out.
kill.
Mr. Circlaps finds one with that Sova Dart. And we see
Pop-Tart able to take out Rybeen.
Gotta go.
Kraft shoots a trip. UNI aware of it, but not aware that he's running away.
Flash.
Rukia actually doesn't get any blinds with that.
Bags, though, good for 2, and he's looking for more. The topside C knows where Sir Claps is.
Not a lot of time here for Iowa.
Kraft able to take out Sir Claps. It's going to
Last
be a
player
2v2.
standing.
Look, it's
Fablet on the
taken
reload
out.
goes down.
All up to Beefman. Has to find Bags through the smoke. Beefman with just 1 second.
Unfortunate. Just didn't quite have the cursor on where the defuse was. And a really nice retake for Iowa.
And Bags and Kraft able to single-handedly win that round for Iowa.
And the Hawkeyes now pushing the advantage to 1, 8-7.
That was a really well-played round out of UNI, though. We did see them on their... It was still their bonus round, so they didn't have guns. And they still were almost able to win. We see a lot of snipers coming out here for Iowa on kind of a bad buy. Man, gets the info that one's going to be close.
I'm out of here.
And Kraft with the Bucky. He's going to be looking for
He's able to
one.
find one.
Might as well. If you're backed into a corner, might as try and get the trade.
Going up.
Impressive enough that he was even able to find one kill there.
And got Pop-Tart down to about 1 HP.
And we see Pop-Tart still lurking around mid, but he did hit that trip.
Spike planted.
Now Bags, with the only gun in hand, is going to try to be looking for a kill from Heaven here. He gets the noise. He knows that there's 2 going to be on default. Finds one.
Gonna be a 2v3 retake now.
Blinding.
Takes the 1v1 on Mr. Claps, and Mr. Claps picks up both kills to close out the round.
Goes ahead and ties the map 8-8. So UNI, again, doing the right job of initially engaging quickly and then responding appropriately to the kind of like heaven side pressure that we've been seeing from this Iowa side.
One thing I would like to note is Killjoy is very hard to play as like a hard sight hold on this map. So UNI knows that, and they're trying to take advantage of this. They keep trying to push C because they know that they're going to only have the Killjoy on that site.
Shadow will get stunned.
And Mr. Claps, like I said about the Killjoy, he's done the same thing 3 rounds in a row now over here and has gotten it every time.
Yeah, and again, pairing with that Sova Dart just with Mr. Circlaps is so deadly.
Rukia all the way up flank. I don't know if UNI is aware of this.
Spike planted.
Find one.
My ultimate's ready.
Oh,
Right,
unable to
look for
find
2.
another.
Kraft coming out of nowhere.
Oh, wait, look at this. Pop-Tart all the way up flank here.
Player
Only
standing.
able to pick up one.
It's going to be a
One enemy
1v2
remaining.
retake. 1v1. Kraft on the defuse. Gets it half.
He knows he's off. Mr. Claps finds him, I think, full running there.
And I wasn't even trying.
And Mr. Circlaps good for 3. Tips the scale. Goodness, we're going back and forth on the round's leaders. UNI leading it 9-8.
UNI leading the game for, I think, the first time since round 4 here, actually. Or not round 4, since it was 4-3.
Yes, correct. By my count, we've had 4 lead changes so far.
Yes. And UNI sees that info. They're getting info that Kraft was short. But kind of a trap play getting set up here for Iowa.
Cover going out. Cover going out.
Not a lot going on. Just UNI trying to scale up that A side, trying to take that space up short still here.
Yeah, and seeing how UNI is kind of being cramped on that sewer side, I don't know if you just full reset at C, but Pop-Tart going to be taken out by Rukia.
Now, this is really scary here. We're going to see Rukia getting a gun and does have that Phoenix ult. Even though he's the only gun on the team, he has 2 lives here pretty much.
And he gets a pen shot on Shadow.
And Mr. Kraft able to find the Phoenix ult here. Is going to take some space there as well.
Mr. Sirclaps is going to get blinded, but Rukia does capitalize.
Kraft finds one on site, finds Mr. Sirclaps.
Enemy remaining.
Favolet able to
player
take him
standing.
out. Favolet finds 2. It's going to be a 1v1.
Deploying drone.
Is it going to be enough time, though?
No, Favolet. He has the Sova ult in hand. He's going to use it. And he's able to find Rybian on a 1v3.
Recognition is nice.
Right
Well
through
done.
the wall.
Thank you.
What a nice usage of abilities there for Favolet. You get the tag, you get the Sova ult. UNI expanding their lead by 2 rounds.
No, UNI showing really strong in this attack side here.
Which is kind of interesting.
I don't feel like it's normally their side of the map. Normally, we see them picking defense as well first, almost every game if they
Get out of
can.
my way.
Scanning ahead.
But oh, we see. I thought we were gonna see Rukia try to take a fight out mid there.
I was going to say, I wonder when we're going to see another like mid-courtyard through garage push that we saw early for Iowa defense.
Yeah, because we see Pop-Tart once again getting a kill, but getting hit down to single-digit health. This is not the first time that's happened this game. And Mr. Collapse only down to 3 knives now. I was
Looks like
going to be stacked towards that C side.
their rotations have been pretty on point for Iowa. It's just getting those retakes is what's been really tough for them.
Rybean in a huge spot here. And they weren't going to clear him, but UNI are able to find the kill onto Rybean.
Unfortunate that he didn't get the kill on Pop-Tart. Pop-Tart holding that heaven side might get
30
another kill
seconds
under
left.
his belt.
Spike planted.
Now Iowa with a 3v5 retake here, going to be a very rough round for them to win. They do have the Killjoy ult, but I don't think they'll actually commit to it. You see Favolet taking down Shadow Heaven.
Cage triggered.
Comes out. Lucia.
Last
Using the
player
wall, trying to
standing.
force through. Can't. Mr. Sir Claps uses one of the 3 knives.
And now Bags just looking to save the gun, try to get a kill on the way out. UNI with an incredible hold there, incredible just space taking in mid. We've seen that from both teams here, and UNI has been doing it just as well as Iowa was.
Yeah, what do you think Iowa needs to do here to get a strong hold?
Iowa's having the same problem UNI was on their defense side. They're dying early, and they're not able to do anything after. We see a lot of the first bloods are going to be coming from the offense side this game, and it's just destroying the defense sides. We are going to see UNI looking for a fast C hit here.
Shadows.
Smoke's already coming out.
You and I might have to rethink this. Because they're swapping the Killjoy and the Omen now for that C site.
And we see Kraft in a really good spot with that Bucky once again. Playing that close angle, he's getting a lot of info off of this. UNI just trying to play that info game right now. Fablet doesn't see anything on the C site. Pop-Tart taking a fight mid.
As UNI stacks that A side, it's gonna be the Bucky that they might run into.
Kraft in a, well, like I said, a wonderful spot here. This could be huge.
It's gonna be Favlet.
He finds one, almost finds Beefman, takes a lot of damage. Beefman getting the trade.
30 seconds left.
I was gonna go ahead and hold down B. Pop-Tart able to take out Rybean.
And now a 3v3 on site until Pop-Tart's able to rotate over.
Bags using that Omen ult to get
TP's outside.
Oh. Bags on A.
One enemy remaining.
Now just one left here on Iowa. They have to fight for this round. He doesn't have money.
Just a deagle in a dream.
Remy with the flash, able to take out Rukia as well.
Really good job by UNI
point.
just kind of assessing the situation because they wanted to push the C. They talked it through. And of course, Kraft with a really nice play in sewer, you mitigate the damage and a really good A push for UNI.
UNI with this match point threat here, but we do see two huge ults here on an Iowa's belt. That Breach ult and Killjoy ult. We see Bags will be getting droned out on C once again. Favlet not seeing any of the Killjoy utility here. And Favlet getting a kill onto Bags.
Really nice mechanical play. Of course, Mr. Sir claps down to 1 HP.
Rybean's going to just be getting out with his life here. He knows his team has that util.
At this point, do you
Spike
commit
planted.
the Brimstone ult for the retake?
They're gonna have to commit that breach ult for the retake. It's last round. If they don't, they're not gonna be able to take it. I don't think. We do only see 2 players getting hit by it though. So Mr. Collapse is going to get taken out here, surely by Rybean.
Surely, but 2 members of Iowa go down.
And Favlet
Good for 3.
picking up 3 there and closing out the game for UNI.
Watch them run.
So UNI late going on a 5-0 run for the round, giving them a 13-8 victory in Haven. What did you like from UNI there, Monty?
I like that we were seeing a lot of slower plays there, and when it needed to be sped up, UNI was ready for that. They were speeding it up on that C site a lot. They knew they could take that pressure very quickly and take that space onto C.
And here's another interesting thought, and again, I don't know if it matters all that much, but I find it very interesting that I want to point it out. UNI has 13 First Bloods, while Iowa only has 8.
Yeah, and I think if we go, I have to go through somebody else's thing here. But if we look, the attack side having most of the First Bloods here, 7 First Bloods. I guess it is almost even, a lot closer than I would have expected it to be, but it's probably pretty similar on the other side as well.
All right, while we are in between maps here, go ahead, do exclamation point merch. That'll go ahead and take you to our Guardian Pro line collection, where we have t-shirts, hoodies, and a fully customizable jersey that you can go ahead and get for you or the gamer in your life. Baseball season, spring training starting up. And again, I decided to look at the team that shall not be named, my favorite baseball team, looked at their jerseys, how much they're selling for. Monty, guess how much they're selling them for?
It can't be 3 digits, surely.
It is 3 digits. It's
That is-
$147.
I feel like that sounds like it was even more than last time.
It was, because in order to get my favorite player in the pinstripe jersey, I have to get it custom made, and custom costs a lot more than just base.
Ooh.
Well, if you go over and get your UNI Panther custom jersey, you get fully customization, $50. So it's a really good deal.
Even sweatshirts that I buy at concerts are sometimes not all are definitely cheaper than that.
Right. So it's just one of those things to think about, that if you're itching for a jersey, you can go ahead and get a fully customizable one, and you're going to be supporting UNI Panther Esports while you do it. So, all right. Any other thing that you want to mention about Haven? Otherwise, we are going to be looking at Lotus.
I'm really intrigued to see what Iowa's going to play on this map, because we just saw a Phoenix and Neon coming out, and not on the map I was expecting either. If I were to think of seeing a Neon, I thought we'd be seeing it on Lotus here, or even on a Fracture pick, which I don't think we've seen yet. But Fracture, new back in the pool, definitely a weird map, just because of if we were to actually get it, I would show you kind of just a weird layout. It's almost like playing two maps at once.
Yeah, it's just how it's built is kind of weird. And A site and B site have like different kind of verticalities that you have to kind of work around with. And the defender spawn is literally smack dab in the middle. And then the attackers have that zip line. Is that correct?
Yeah, because so there's basically two main entrances to each site instead of like a main and a side spot, which is definitely a little weirder. And they're both on complete opposite sides of both sites.
Yeah, that's such a weird map. And it's so hard to defend, I bet.
It is. It's very strange. I never played it like competitively outside of like my normal rank games. But a lot of the time it's just a lot of hard hitting that one site and trying to take that space fast enough that the other team can't rotate fast enough to you. And just a big info game with the B side of the map, just because it's a lot more wide open and a lot easier to get that contact and the info on it without dying.
So the last time that we've seen Iowa play Lotus was in their week 1 matchup against Concordia St. Paul, where Concordia beat them 13-7. And their composition was a Breach, Omen, Killjoy, Jet.
I'll be
Gekko.
right back, Hunter. I'm gonna.
Yep. So it's going to be interesting to see if that's what we're going to see similar here. Like Monty mentioned, we saw that Phoenix and Neon, which kind of threw it off with the double duelist. And with how UNI typically runs double smokes in this type of situation here on Lotus, I would be interested to see how that's going to play out. And of course, for those of you following at home, pending today's results, the current kills leaders for UNI is going to be Mr. Sirclaps, followed closely behind Pop-Tart and Favelet. Okay, Mr. Sirclaps having 149 kills, whereas Pop-Tart and Favelet are tied with 145 kills apiece. So interesting to see how that's going to play out. Also interesting to see here that what we saw in Haven, we saw Beefman doing a lot of the planting. Typically that job is given to Remy, and Remy usually plays the Gecko, which we might see here depending on these initial comps. But Remy, so far this season, has had 30 bomb plants. And the next closest is Beefman, who only has 9. Also kind of looking at sort of kind of how UNI is doing in the regular season on each of these maps. So far, UNI has played Lotus 3 times this semester and has won 2 of them. So they're at a 67% win rate. And if we look historically from last semester, Again, we're keeping the same starters from last semester. UNI played Lotus 4 times and won it twice. So history says UNI geared to lose this one right here. But we'll see if that happens.
I am back.
Welcome back, Monty. I was telling them about the current kills leaders. And you want to know the funniest thing? Mr. Sirclaps is in the lead with 149. Okay, that's not the funny bit. What the funny bit is that Pop-Tart and Favelet are tied for the regular season second place at 145.
Really? That's impressive that they're both tied, even.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Like-
pretty interesting.
Oh, that's like out of all of the amount of kills you could get, you happen to keep the same amount.
Yeah. But if you want to look at it from differentials, Pop-Tart has the least deaths at 113. Favelet has 116. But the assists, this is where it gets pretty interesting. Favelet, 78 assists, whereas Pop-Tart only has 29.
Where that right there is where that role difference is going to be coming in, because we see Favelet on that initiator role versus Pop-Tart on that slow played kind of sentinel role.
All right, so out the initial gates here on Lotus, UNI gonna be defending first. We see the raise from Mr. Sirclaps, which kind of what I like to see here, don't you, Monty?
Definitely coming up on Lotus here. Seeing Raze is going to be a pretty common pick, just because that Raze nade has so many uses. You can clear off people on C, clear off a util. You can take space on A on defense. It's just such a really common thing to get played. But we are, once again, as I said before, it's going to be interesting. We're seeing a Neon coming out once again on Lotus. Probably one of the best maps for Neon in the game.
Which makes me wonder if that's Kraft's main. Is that Neon pick? So it's definitely going to be playing more heavily handed in that favor. But I'm interested to see how that's going to pair with the Clove. I don't normally see that Clove here, do we?
No, definitely not. Mostly just because that Omen Blind is such a strong ability. It's been nerfed quite a few times over the years, but it's in as good of a state as it could be. And it's just so good compared to playing Clove almost feels like playing Reyna. You have those smokes that you can use for your team, but not really a lot of team uses other than that. She just kind of tries to fight.
Hopefully UNI, again, I just feel like a broken record, but I just want to kind of reiterate until I'm proven wrong. UNI being strong on these first rounds here with the pistols.
Really curious to see if Ruki is able to find one of the headhunter here. Facebook saw him rotate off, actually, I think, with that jump peek.
It's going to be a push over to C in Iowa, getting aggressive.
Pop-Tart alone here, trying to finds one!
Spike planted.
Takes out Shadow.
Now a 5v4 retake here for UNI. Looking good here. Finding one with the drone. Favelet gets taken up by Kraft.
Satchel out.
Kraft with 2.
Kraft gets taken up by Remy, but Remy gets traded back by Bags.
That's going to be a 2v2 situation.
enemy
Mr.
remaining.
Sirclaps dancing on point, able to take
My
out
ult's not
Bags.
ready.
Now UNI with just one player left, but not a lot of time left. They're gonna have to get on the
Gonna have to
bomb.
find Rybeen.
And UNI does have enough time for the defuse. A really close round on that retake coming back on C.
Spike is diffused.
Yeah, it was just coming down to the milliseconds there, Monty, but a really good communication play between Beefman and Mr. Sirclaps, able to kind of initiate the attack and the defuse at the same time.
Yeah, but we are already seeing Kraft looking pretty strong on this Neon here.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see how quickly that ultimate's going to get charged, and maybe we might start seeing some momentum shift back into the Hawkeyes' favor.
UNI looking to try to get a little aggressive here on this A. We see this quite a lot, but Iowa setting up looks like to try to retake this space back.
Mr. Sirclap sees bags.
Now a lot of players swinging out of that smoke. Mr. Sirclap stuck in a really rough spot here.
Nice takeout Fablet with hold on Mr. Sirclaps with 2.
And he sees 3 lined up, and he gets a lot of damage onto Clove as well.
Gun here.
Big shout out to Fablet there again on the Bulldog. Getting some value. And Fablet finding 3 that round.
A wonderful push there for UNI. Taking that space, they were able to hold that so well. Even with that util coming back from Iowa, trying to retake the control.
And at what point, Monty, is that just like a good read on the C hold? Do you think UNI maybe talks about that, like, hey, we're going to hold C for the first couple rounds, or how do you think that goes down?
There.
One thing I know for sure is they've started playing a lot more off of the C site, just because C is so hard to initially hold, even though there's only one entrance. But it is such an easy site to
Placing
retake.
wall trap. Burns are live.
And Pop-Tart actually able to get that wall down in time before any players are able to enter site.
Wall tripped.
Craft triggering that wall. Setting up UNI ready for that rotate over to B.
Locating targets.
Yeah, UNI is going to have to be really aggressive there, but again, that wall set up there by Pop-Tart, pretty good play there.
And Fablet sees no people on A. They know Craft is going to be pushing in. Pop-Tart finds 1.
Pop-Tart finds 3.
Spike down. C. One enemy.
He finds the
remaining.
4th and he's looking for the ace. He doesn't know that he's all the way at back site.
Unfortunate,
Last
Rai
player
being good for
standing.
4 as well.
And now Rybeam looking for an ace.
He's going to be
30
down to
seconds left.
about 2 HP. It's going to be a 2-tap. Mr. Sirclaps right there gets it done. And UNI is going to go ahead and take the lead 3-0.
Such a close round. 2 players on their 4K.
That was really awesome. And I feel like if it wasn't going to come down to Mr. Sirclaps being patient there in the C main entrance, we might be talking about a different story here, Monty. And the momentum shift would have been huge for Iowa.
Yeah, I definitely thought for sure that Rybeam didn't know Pop-Tart was top site. And then all of a sudden he had 3 kills.
They were quick succession, too.
Oh yeah, and what a shot from Rukia.
Using the headhunter. Craft with the bucky. Being aggressive, able to pick up the Vandal. And UNI already down 3 members.
In such a fast push there coming out for Iowa. I don't think Remy knows that Kraft can be behind him.
Oh,
One
doesn't.
enemy remaining.
That's
Finds
3.
1.
Let's go, go, go.
He's going to pick up the op, but he's got to take out Fablet first.
Fablet probably looking to try to save this off here. I believe Rukia will hear that he's trying to rotate over the tree.
Rukia with a Vandal of his own. Going to look for that kill.
Now Iowa absolutely hunting down Fablet here.
Rukia playing all the corners and being patient.
I think Rukia definitely finds Fablet looking in the wrong spot.
And Rukia gonna go ahead and take the op. So UNI is gonna be down around, and they're gonna be down eco huge.
Yeah, UNI on a kind of rough eye here. They do have 3 or 4 rifles, but definitely going to be short on the rest of their util and armor here. getting aggressive.
Beefman able to pick up bags. Beefman finds 2.
Now, UNI able, they're holding the space wonderfully here. And they have 4 players all the way up A, and Pop-Tart is going to be able to get that info on that rotate.
The biggest question is did they down the op or no? They still haven't.
Wall trip.
Wait, Pop-Tart won't get cleared here.
Obsolete.
We just find 1, but at the cost of Mr. Claps dying.
Shadow gonna have to play
One
through
enemy remaining.
the Shadow and Beefman. Good for 3 this round.
They're going to be hunting down Shadow. Finds him in the back.
So close.
And UNI able to retake the op before damage was done, and again extending their lead by 3 in map 2. So what have you liked so far, Monty?
I like that UNI is playing really consistently. They know what they need to do here, and we're seeing them actually do it. They're taking that space on A every single round, and we might be seeing a read here that we're going to see UNI getting aggressive over on C.
Then trying to get the shot with the op, can't quite get there. UNI going to be down 2 members early to Craft before he is traded out by Pop.
That's the one strong thing about those Razor Vines is the more you move around, the faster you die. You see it. Mr. Claps finding one there. Pop-Tart looking to try to open the door on flank.
This 3v3 retake, Mr. Fur Claps. No value on the bazooka.
One enemy remaining. One enemy
Find
remaining.
1. But Mr. Circlap's good for 3, and same for Pop-Tart. How does that work?
Mr. Circlaps and Pop-Tart able to just run through the site, get all of the kills there.
And I believe they used the Clover ultimate as well. So, again, UNI doing a successful retake here,
Love explosions.
pushing the advantage to 4.
And we did see that UNI also using 2 ults there, but those 2 ults were much more worth using compared to the 3 that Iowa threw out.
So, if you're Iowa, Monty, how do you get back into the offensive groove?
I think one thing I would love to see is Iowa retaking that A site space, because UNI is doing a really good job at holding it, but I think there's a chance that they could retake that side and retake all that space.
UNI going to be aggressive with this A hold.
We do see Rukia taking a Pop-Tart on the B site.
Yeah, they're going to stack up that B main side where Beefman's going to be ready.
And we see Fablet with the op holding as well.
Really good play there for Favlet. Gonna have to force Iowa back out and around, and maybe we'll see them commit to that A side where it's just Mr. Circlaps.
We see Beefman actually ready for Craft to be here. Beefman finds Craft.
And I almost didn't think the timing was going to be quite there with the way that Beefman was kind of shifting. But so far I've noticed, Monty, Iowa isn't doing a really good job on clearing every corner of every room here in Lotus.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few rounds here, actually, that we've seen them walk by someone. Fablet gets another kill with the op onto Rukia, but the bomb is ticking.
Yeah, it's going to be a 3v2 retake. And I believe Iowa's set up for a good defense here.
And then we're ready for that door to open. Bags has to drop off the boxes.
Last
Shadow
player
will pick up
standing.
Mr. Circlaps.
One enemy
Beefman
remaining.
gets traded out by Bags, and it's going to be a 1v1.
Bring them down.
Fablet, not a lot of time. Probably no time here, actually. Just trying to look for that kill. And Bags will clutch it out.
So a really good job there on Iowa kind of noticing that a lot of the util is going to be on the A site hold for UNI, so they kind of recognized that, walked around B, knew that Favourite had the op, then navigated towards C, got the successful plant, and just set themselves up for a really good late hold.
Yeah, finding that pick onto Pop-Tart early there was huge for them. They knew that if they went to the C side, it was going to be a lot easier to take because there was going to be no Sentinel util there. We might see Kraft getting aggressive here. He knows Raging Remy's there. He misses a collapse and gets the kill.
Really good reaction play as Favourite is going to take out
Where
Rukia.
are you?
Beefman having a battle of the smokes on the C side. Bags doesn't know he TP'd out.
Both of them kind of holding that corner.
And Bags now, I think he knows off that smoke that Beefman can't be behind the box anymore.
I do like how Mr. Sirclaps is kind of working a way past A rubble there and getting a lot of information, closing the possible routes for Iowa.
Iowa's stuck in a really tough spot here.
30 seconds
It looks like
left.
they're going to go for a B hit.
Tip.
And Favorite set up the op.
Bring them down.
Bag's able to take out Beefman.
Now a 4v2 here. Iowa still stuck in a very rough position.
And they need to get the plant down. Less
10
than
seconds
10
left.
seconds to do that, and you're staring at 3 members of UNI.
It looks like they might just be trying to save these rifles.
Good hit.
With that, less than a second to go, Bags will get the kill on Pop-Tart. But again, UNI with a really strong defense here.
Now a 6-2 half for UNI. I think the most we've seen them up in a while in one half.
Yeah, I think the last time that we want to see that would probably be week 2.
And we're seeing a lot of pings coming out here. I think that Iowa's going to try to use that Tejo ult in their possession to try to retake that space onto rubble.
You want to play? Let's
All
play.
missiles away.
It looks like they're stacking 5 out of A
targets.
sites. Outside of A, this might be the case actually.
Remy not getting any information, and again, Iowa still stacked up on that A side. So it's gonna
UNI
push
still
Pop-Tart.
wary of this though.
Grenade is live.
Bags finds one. Remy looking,
All right.
finds a trade.
Ultimate is ready.
Able to take out Kraft, again, value.
Beefman picking one up on the edge of the smoke.
Remy finds one as well.
Spike down
It's a
A.
2v4.
All missiles away. This is how it ends.
Now Remy using that ult to
One
confirm this
enemy
round.
remaining.
Actually able to pick up another one. Remy with the 3K.
Yeah, really good job by UNI there. Of course, Remy out the gate, able to mitigate Kraft, who was being so aggressive on that A site. I don't think, yeah, Kraft so far with a 7-9 KD, typically a really good neon map, but hasn't been yet this first half.
We've seen some strong plays coming out from Iowa still. It's just they're not quite able to get them all the time.
And I think the issue is maybe the aggressiveness of Iowa. As we see here, they're going to push into B. Kraft able to take out one before it gets trading out.
And now UNI has 4 players stuck towards one side here. Preparing to see Remy trying to take a little bit of space up flank.
And this is exactly what I wanted to see Iowa to do. Be aggressive.
Remy's going to run into Rukia, but Rukia finds the kill. UNI with a lot of work to do here.
Going to be a 3v4 retake. Oh, Rukia able to take out Mr. Sirclaps. It's 2v4.
Shadows traveling.
UNI has so much money here, it's kind of worth it for them to try. Caveman finds one, gets traded out by Rukia.
Rukia's good for 3 this round. He's kind of turning it on there with the chamber.
Favorite ready for Rukia. He's going to try to find the skill here. And he does get the kill.
So you kind of hurt the eco there. Iowa shortening the deficit now to 4. 7-3 UNI. Monty, what did you like from that last round from Iowa?
Iowa taking that B space really fast with Kraft. Just Kraft able to get up anywhere, really. Is giving them so much space. Even if he does die, he was able to take out that Vise last round. And that gives them so much to work off of once that Sentinel utility's down. Fable misses the shot.
He was so close there with the op, too.
You know, Iowa they had that info. They're trying to play it slow now. They don't know if this wall is going to be up on B again.
Kraft also picking up the op.
Cover going out.
So UNI mindful of that as well.
Kind of surprised they don't drop the op down to Rukia here. Chamber is one of the best op agents in the game.
Bag's able to take out Remy, and Iowa going to go ahead and do a C push. Mr. Circlap's going to be on the C Hall side. Going to find one before getting traded out.
One enemy remaining.
And Iowa with another really strong round. They were ready for that flank to come out from top there once again.
Last round before they half, and UNI, the deficit slowly getting smaller. 3 rounds before the half, and UNI gonna need to come up with something against this aggressive Iowa Hawkeye team.
One thing to note here, though, is that Iowa's definitely set up for a much stronger offense-sided team comp than a defense-sided one. Man gets a little bit of info and is going to be able to get out as well there.
Wall tripped.
We see Kraft triggering that wall. And Mr. Circlaps looking for that result kill. Doesn't even find any damage.
Remy though finds 2.
Spike down, C.
And Mr. Circlaps eating that stun is not going to be able to take a fight back.
It's going to be a 3v3. Iowa rotating to A.
Watch them run.
They hear that cancel on the Omen ult. Surely they're going to have a free sight here, but UNI is going to try to play retake with this Fade ult.
Favelet also with the op. It's going to be interesting to see how that's going to be on the A side.
Bring them down.
And Favelet able to find Kraft.
One enemy remaining.
Now a 1v2 here.
Last
Just
player
Rukia.
standing.
I don't think he knows that Fable can be on the bomb. He doesn't. Fable,
Nice stick.
I think that Omen Flash hit Rukia just at the
Switching
right time
sides.
to actually make it so he didn't hear the defuse.
So UNI at the half going to lead 8-4. And UNI, like you said earlier, Monty, Iowa more of an attack-heavy kind of setup. So it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do on defense here.
One thing I am seeing is that they're playing that chamber on B, even with this trip there as well. But it does look like they are going to be getting aggressive on the A side, which, as we saw from pretty much every team on this map, is very normal.
Shocking.
Yeah, you get a lot of information early here, but it's going to be just Shadow again on the C side.
And I think Shadow might. He's getting so much info here. He's telling the team to rotate, rotate. We hear everyone. And he's going to be getting cleared here, actually, it looks like. Wait.
He's not being cleared.
Only able to find one, but still. Rukia finding two with the headhunter.
And Rybeam taking out Pop-Tart. UNI gonna be down to 2.
Got one.
So Mr. Circlaps in the early rounds gonna go ahead, try and do his best that he
One
can.
enemy remaining.
Go, go, go.
Craft coming in to
And-
close it out.
For the first time in a long time, UNI losing
Spike's dead.
their
You're
initial
welcome.
pistol
Gotta go.
round. Monty, how interesting is that?
Gotta go.
Yeah, UNI has been looking very strong in these pistols recently.
I'm out of here.
Do you think it's because they didn't initially clear out Shadow on that C site, that because you're down 1 early with the first blood, you kind of get messed up? But
I think one thing in
Yes.
particular there is I think he took out the Omen, which kind of left UNI with no smokes. And it's really hard to take a site with no smokes or even to hold it after a planet goes down. And Fablet getting a kill over on the seaside.
Trap destroyed.
Rukia does get some tags on Mr. Circlaps. UNI going with a B site push.
Ouch.
And Claps finds one through the smoke.
Rybeam, Guardian taking out Beefman.
A lot of just 1v1s happening here. You see Remy almost finds Rybeam.
Mr. Circlaps and Fablet able to win their 1v1s, and Fablet good for 3 with the Marshall.
Fablet hitting some incredible shots there. Able to find that initial pick on the C. I just noticed somebody said as a first-time chatter that I need to spend my kingdom credits.
I
And
was going to mention that at the end of the map.
I just noticed that,
Thank you.
and it has been so long since I even remembered I have them.
Well, you better get spending them, Monty.
They'll probably sit for another couple months.
That's fair. You and I got to go ahead and initiate on B site. And Iowa, who worked down B main, gonna be sitting there for the bottom retake.
UNI does
But
have the
Fablet
info that they are on flank, but
No more
they were
dreams.
able to pick up one.
Ult is ready.
Taking out Craft, that's huge, especially
Catch
on
them.
the Neon retake here on C.
One
After
enemy.
finds
Pop-Tart, good
three.
for 3. Switch to the Headhunter, might take out Shadow.
And UNI with a wonderful hold there.
Yeah, I didn't expect Iowa to rotate down that B site on the retake. So a really interesting idea. We've seen them do that before. I like the play for Iowa, just didn't quite follow it up.
Now we wait.
And now both teams with rifles here. Going to be the first
Retreating.
real round of this half.
Now we wait.
It looks like UNI is going to stack on all the way on A.
Going to see a lot of fighting here towards the A side. And Rukia walking all the way up might find UNI with their backs turned.
Pop-Tart's there. Mr. Circlaps able to take out Rukia on the flank.
Rukia does get a lot of damage, but no kills there. I think that flash did hit Rybeam just enough that it gives Pop-Tart the info that it can be there.
Yeah, Pop-Tart's going to be backing on Pop-Tart. Beefman able to take him out, though.
We see Bags finding out
Spike
Fablet.
down. C.
Actually, the
Spike's
bomb
gonna
going
be
down.
And Bags, if he kind of plays aggressive here, can hold
30
that,
seconds left.
that bomb.
Finds
He finds
two.
one, takes out two. He's good for 3 this round.
One enemy remaining.
Kraft able to take out Beefman, and it comes down to Remy on a 2v1.
And they have no idea where he is. Remy might be able to catch both players off guard.
10 seconds left.
Finds one, and he finds two.
Remy getting the clutch in the end. And they weren't ready for that C waterfall push. Excellent job by Remy, kind of being aggressive there late.
Bags was ready. He turned just in time, thinking finally that one could be there, but wasn't quite able to get the shot.
Now UNI pushing it to a 6-round advantage. Looking to close it out in the next 2.
And Iowa looking to get aggressive on that A side again. Pop-Tart just kind of holding that late lurk.
Mr. Sir claps.
Claps. Getting all the way up with that Raze ult. Unable to actually shoot it.
But you do pick up 1 in Rybeam. So still a little value on that aggressive C-lane push.
Take this. I'm out of here.
Kraft being aggressive finds 1. Unfortunately, too many targets.
Excusez-moi. Teleport's ready.
We see UNI is starting to fall like flies.
UNI with the plant on C is going to be a 2v3 hold.
Last player standing.
Make that a 1v3.
I don't think they know about Remy here. He finds one.
Gets taken out, and Rukia will go ahead and get the defuse. So UNI had a right idea on the engagement. However, Rukia and Shadow able to get it done on the retake. So, Monty, how is UNI going to seal this one up?
It's going to be really interesting to see how UNI is going to be able to play this round. Because if they lose this, Rukia will be able to buy it out next round, I think. So that can be a lot of pressure coming out with that op alone. And it could completely turn the tides of this game.
Kraft will be blinded.
And 9 players in the lobby fighting towards this A side here.
So with the Prowler.
A lot of spamming through the box. UNI finds 2.
Face your fear.
Rukia, who's worked all the way around towards attacker spawn, and Bags picking up Pop-Tart.
Shadow was able to tuck in this
Spike
corner, and
planted.
UNI just didn't even go towards main.
No peeking.
Bags kind of working from heaven. Finds 1.
Like I never
And
left.
back from the dead. Does Mr. Sirclaps know?
Go ahead. Stand
Sir Fab gets
ground.
taken out. Are UNI in a
Last
2v2?
player
Big
standing.
Man picks up 1.
Beefman picks up 2. And match point going
Match
to UNI.
point.
And now Iowa's stuck in a rough spot here. They have 3 ults available, and it is match point for UNI.
I think UNI just needs to play their game, be a little aggressive on C. Of course, we got the chamber on hold. What I would love to see from Iowa is to be a little bit more laxative or relaxed. Oh my goodness. Be a little relaxed here on the initial push and then go in for the retake.
Right.
That works.
Rukia has a lot of info. He knows that UNI is hard rushing the site here. They have 4 ults to retake this. It's going to be a really hard round for UNI to actually win here,
Spike planted.
even with
if
bomb
they
going
can-
down.
out of nothing.
And
Mr. Sir claps.
Teleport's ready. How we doing?
We'll take out right.
Die! Here we go!
now the Vi's ult coming out. Fablet able to pick up 2.
Fablet being aggressive with Remy.
Last player standing.
Remy
Remy's
able to
picking up-
find it.
Attackers
Picks up
win.
2 to end the game, ending the series 2-0 here for UNI.
So really good job by UNI, able to improve their win-loss on the regular season 3-1.
We see Fablet once again towards the top of that scoreboard here with a lot of kills and quite a few assists as well.
And now UNI 75% win percentage on Lotus. How interesting is that, Monty?
It's nice to see that UNI is winning their map. They know how to play it now. They're back into it, and they're finally playing it exactly how it should be. That one time that they lost, I don't feel like they were playing the map how they normally would. And I feel like it definitely could be at 100 right now.
Oh, I completely agree. And I'd have to go back and look to see when they dropped that map. I want to believe it was in their loss against St. Ambrose, but
I believe you're right.
still, yeah. But still a really good job. I don't know. Do you have anything else to add, Monty, or are we doing an interview? What's the post game show looking like?
I could see if we can pull someone in for an interview.
While he's doing that, go ahead, do exclamation point merch. That'll take you to our Guardian Pro line collection, where we have t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, and a fully customizable jersey for only $50. Get something for the gamer in your life and go to Guardian Pro line and support UNI Panther Esports. If I had to pick MVP of the matchup here, for UNI, I almost want to say, is it Beefman?
I would definitely agree, either Beefman or Fablet. He had some great games both times today. And especially that second game there, Beefman actually showing up a lot. Being there with a lot of those clutches and a lot of the big plays. But I feel like we
Right.
definitely saw Fablet being pretty prominent in both games, having not a lot of impact in the first one, but definitely a lot more in that second game there.
Yeah, I completely agree. Well, joining us for the post-game show is going to be Mr. Sir Claps. Mr. Sir Claps, congratulations on the win today. Tell me how you feel about it.
I'm glad we won, so now I can go play League. That's my thought process.
To be fair, I hard carry this man in League, so don't listen to him.
Oh, really?
It's not true, I promise.
It's a 50-50.
It is. It's a give and take.
Yeah, but glad we won.
What are your guys' thoughts on the just sheer aggression that was getting shown from the Neon in both games?
I mean, honestly, I think Jake or Pop Tart, he wasn't having fun with it, but overall, I didn't think it was that much of a problem. I didn't feel like. I mean, I feel like we knew if we were gonna retake or if we were gonna try to hold the site, regardless of what the Neon's doing. But I know Pop Tart was gonna have fun with him.
I was gonna say, because I believe half the rounds you guys lost on Lotus were because of Kraft just getting that kill on to Pop Tart every time, and they would just rotate to C right away off of it.
Early in Haven, Iowa was kind of pushing a lot towards B. How did you guys kind of maybe try and set up your defenses to kind of counteract that initial B push, and how did that play out through the rest of Haven?
When they were just like walking up mid, I mean, we tried to like just 3-man hold them twice, but that's the rounds they didn't go there, which is kind of unlucky. But once we started like just playing back and just kind of letting them come in, because retaking B, you can come from like two different ways of flying, the two links, so it's kind of easier to retake. I feel like so if we just like let them come in a little bit more instead of like trying to push back, we would be fine.
Now, in your opinion, who do you think deserves the MVP tonight?
My boy Billy, aka Favorite. I got like I think 7 kills just live pings through smokes. It was beautiful.
That was one thing I saw is that you guys were able to get onto C on Haven, and you sprayed the Killjoy through your own smoke 3 times while live.
Yep. Yep, that was the call going into the round. We just, I mean, didn't break the dart. She was like alone on an island there, so it's just an easy fight.
How big is communication, especially on the retakes for Lotus? Because we've seen some really good team play there on Lotus.
Yeah, so the rounds we usually don't win are the rounds where we're not talking, but when you communicate, it just makes it so much easier. Like you communicating like what util you have to clear out this angle. But shout out Remy, shout out Billy. Their util was phenomenal tonight. Made my life like a smooth sail. But like just communicating what util is, where they are, like when are we going is it's probably the most important thing about like the game in general. It's just communication. Just keep talking.
So now we need to end it with the most important question. So normally we do favorite flavors of something, but what is your go-to Taco Bell order?
It changes, but I'll get I don't know what number it is. It's the 3 Doritos Locos Tacos, and then I get a soft taco. I'll get like the cinnamon like twist things or whatever they're called. And then I always gotta get 1 large Baja Blast. And then if I'm feeling real good, I'll get a frozen Baja Blast to go with it. Baja Blast is just amazing. I got one right here, right now. During the game, I can't lie.
Now, Monty, I have to ask, did you DoorDash Taco Bell?
I did not. I DoorDash Cane's because I was trying to. I don't know. I was trying to grab something different for once, and I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna go cook food in the middle of this, but you know that's why I had to leave for a call before because my DoorDash driver is asking me how to get to my apartment.
See, and I knew you were gonna dip out just a little bit, so we were prepared there. But yes, and for those of you watching, Averly, he's using his kingdom.
I am. I promise. I promise it's happening finally. I forget they exist because there's like not a lot of uses for them. Like, I play this game all the time and I don't even know where like the buddy shop or whatever it is at.
Oh my goodness. All right.
I forget about this.
All right. Congrats on your win, Mr. Sir Claps. Good luck. We'll see you Friday with the Overwatch team.
Oh yeah, you will. You will see me on probably Kiriko. I haven't played anybody else, so we'll keep it that way.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, Monty. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
I don't think so. Just some beautifully played games tonight for the team, and not any complaints about it.
All right. Well, UNI is going to go ahead and improve to 3-1, while their in-state rivals, the Iowa Hawkeyes, will go 1-3 on the season. Next week, UNI will play against Augusta College, where Iowa will be facing against Park University. So, for Monty working double duty tonight, my name is Hunter. Thank you for joining us again for a wonderful, wonderful turnout for UNI Valorant. See you